Hey Earth Crawlers, welcome to a video character creation tutorial that I'm putting together specifically for the Earth Crawl Patreon. What I've got here is a couple things you've probably never seen before. I mean, you've all seen the casino dice, I'm sure. But this is a Earth Crawl 0 level character sheet. It's bigger than your standard ones. This has a little note for me on how to change it, as a matter of fact. But this is an Earth Crawl 0 level character sheet, and I thought we'd take the moment to do two characters and explain how I came about building the manuscript rules that I did for 0 level character creation, which, while I have it in a booklet format here for ease of use, again, you can see this is my working copy. I'm making notes on what needs to change and everything as I play. I sent out to you as a Word document before, so you could look at it. This will be one of the patron level rewards. This is an Ashcan edition that I did for myself at GaryCon, so I could use it to develop the several hundred Earthcrawl characters I needed to make for that for those playtests. But I thought we'd use it, make some characters, and see where we stand. So with that, let's roll some d6s. Well, our first stat, what we got here? We got 5, 10. Okay. Just imagine me doing this all by hand for the 350 characters that I built for the various cons this year. We got another 10. It takes several hours, but it's well worth it, especially to realize you have a completely average character. Oh, look at that. Now we got a 5 on intelligence. This guy is not the most intelligent. And then we have a nice, 8, 11. Okay, so an 11 stat there. Let's put those dice away and we'll just work this guy up in toto. Okay, so because Earthcrawl has ability score modifiers that go beyond 20, I take them all the way up to 30 here. We've got those. Actually, all of these except the 5, which is a -2. All of these are zeros, so there's no modifiers here for this guy. It's not going to help him out. Okay, so we have rules for character creation. First of all, we roll our ability scores, record them, as we've done. We record the astronomical zodiac. We're using the standard luck table off the DCC table, so I will work that out later. I'm not going to worry about it. Choose an alignment. We're going to skip that for now. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and say this guy is chaotic. Determine 0 level occupation. Well, let's go ahead and build a character from the colonies, and that's going to start us up here, starting colonial or colony occupations, table 1-4. So for that, I need a percentile dice. You know what? I left those. Let me grab some. I've got some DCC dice here from England, Albion's Arcane Artifacts, which has got a great Brian May tribute on it. Let's go ahead and pull that out, because it occurs to me that I'm going to need probably many different dice. Let's see if I can just... Oh, come on. That is the first time I have ever had a problem opening a dice tube. Okay. We'll just leave those up top there. Okay. So we roll a percentile for a colony. So we got our 10, and where's our other 10? There it is. And we're going to start with a 69. Okay. 69 means our character has some kind of military background, and there's a sub-table. There's 8 with a D8, so we'll go ahead and roll that. 1. They're part of the Terran military. Okay, and so we'll put here as part of the Terran military, they get a level 3 RBC suit. That's a radiation biological chemical suit. And they also get a Terran military kit, which will be detailed in the equipment section later. And then there is a cost to determine their credits. And so this is this gives, you need to roll a d12 and subtract 6. So let's find our d12 here. There it is. 3 minus 6, which gives me -3 credits. This is really useful. So what does it mean when we start out with -3 credits? Well, if we go back to the character creation rules, determine 0 level occupation. Judge will inform you if you have an Earth or colony-based character. This one's colony-based. Our base age is 16 plus 1d4. There's our d4. So this character is 18 years old. Roll food and credit. If the number is positive, go to step 7. If it is negative, go to step 6. And step 6 tells us specifically that we're going to roll on the life history add-on cycles. And we're going to do that a number of times equal to the negative score for our credit. So we're going to actually flip this character over. We're going to put the starting age at the top, 18. And we're going to go back to this very short table called Stuff Happens, which we roll with a D30. All right, we're going to roll that. It's a 24 for the base. Okay, this character was wounded. All right, for every life history, for every cycle we go through, we add 4 years. And so they were wounded. And I did that. Every one of these has a 1-word or 2-word starter. It's a phrase, so you can write that down. You don't have to get into details unless you need it. Let me see where they were. Oh, we roll a d8 to see where they were wounded. A 6. They were in their right eye. Okay. You pay to have the limb replaced and find a surgeon to carry out the surgery, even if on Earth. See table 2, gain an augmented limb, and that'll be table 2X of some sort. That'll be in the equipment section. We'll have all the cyber augmentations and everything there. But you gain an appropriate appendage. But in order to do so, you subtract 2d4 credit from your score. And the larger your debt, the better the replacement is. So let's go ahead and roll that. 1, 4. So that's a total of 5. And so we'll put -5 credit there. And I'm going to go over here. We're going to update that credit. And it started at -3. We just subtracted 5 from it. And we're going to roll that D12 minus 6 again and see where we're at. I rolled a 10. Minus 6 is 4. So I had -3 minus 5 is -8 plus 4. We're now at -4 at the end of our first of 3 life history events. We're going to go ahead and roll another life history event. We're going to go ahead and move on the age, and we're going to roll that D30 again. What do we got? Stop. There we go. We rolled a 7. Okay. So a 7 is gamma radiation exposure. At some point while he was in the military, he was exposed to gamma radiation. You were exposed to gamma radiation spike, gain one of the following. It's a D6 roll, and it is a mental mutation of some sort. 6. Oh, uncontrolled telepathy. And so we'll say gamma radiation exposure. Gain uncontrolled telepathy. Okay. Well, we can just write that out, I guess. And what else does it say? All can be found in the MCC RPG Mutations chapter. And we have a 1d12 action die for that mutation. All right, and so we'll then further roll our credit again. 4 minus 6 is a -2, and so our credit is reduced to -6. At the end of this roll, we're going to roll a third time and see how this works out. Okay, so let's roll our D30 once again. An 11. Okay, an 11 is a new hobby. You take up a rare hobby, gain 1 random skill associated with that hobby. So in this case, my character is now 30 and gets a new hobby. And they're going to get a new skill. What hobby do we want our character to become? You know what? Because of this telepathy, this character is going to become obsessed with the occult. You know what? We'll call it with paranormal. And that's it. This gives me a little bit of history about my character, just some bullet points, and it gives me an age. We can go back to the front and let's look. We'll continue working on this character. Okay. And so we've now gone through this. Skills. So one of the things that Earthcrawl has is a modified skill system. All right. Every character starts with 5 skill points in character creation, and every time you roll on the life history trait, the life history table, you gain an additional 5 skill points. All right, and that means that character rolled 3 times plus his initial one, which means he starts the game actually with 20 skill points. All right, and with his special skill, which we're going to put in down here under magic, paranormal. And it's the interesting thing about this is I have created 9 proficiencies that cover just about anything. At any time during the game, you can convert your skills your skill points into a skill you need. Let's say you come across something, you're like, oh, my character would be normally very good at setting up traps, right? Because he's a Terran military guy, and so I might put under war, trap setting. Okay, and for every 3 skills I have under one of these proficiencies, my proficiency die, which is normally a D10 for unskilled skill rolls, goes up by 1 on the dice chain. So if I had 3 things under war, let's say I had a laser pistol, and I also had let's just call it something like a strategy. He was trained in strategy. So I would actually have a D12 anytime I needed to make an untrained check on something that dealt with war. Okay? So that's how that works. You can lay these all out, and some people like to go ahead and fill in all the skills they want and work all this out, or you can leave it to work on the fly. Okay? And I'll post the rules for skills sometime in the next couple months, in the next month or so you can see them as we move forward. Okay, so those are our skills. We're almost ready for the funnel. We need a total of 4 characters. We got to roll. We do this 4 times, and everything. So that's it. We basically have this worked up. We know that we have essentially no modifiers for these 3 because of that. Our speed is a base of 30. Our initiative has no modifier. Melee and missile have no modifiers. We could go ahead and roll a d4 for our hit points as per normal, and everything. And we would work out our AC would be base 10 plus if we get any armor or weapons and everything. One thing you'll notice is that even though this part of this kit actually is a weapon, I'm not going to go into detail on that here. But one of the things you'll notice is that there is room here for multiple occupations, because during the character creation process, you may change occupations, and then you would gain the backgrounds of both of those occupations as a 0-level character. What I found, is this creates pretty interesting characters. Not only do they have lots of things to talk about and work with, but this life history really provides some depth to characters. Let's try this again with one more character, see what we come up with.